This is Zim from Strike Gaming, and I'm actually doing a video on. I had somebody comment. Actually, it was a PM from somebody that was curious about. He had seen some videos or whatever on our YouTube page about, and he was curious about the economy of this game, and how do you get ahead. He had so many games, and he was feeling like he was falling behind. He wasn't making any money. It's hard to level up through tanks, all that stuff. He didn't want to put money into the game. He was kind of doing it, he was still doing the play for free type thing. So, the biggest thing in this game, I've played. When I originally started this game, I played like 10,000 games with no premium, and it took me forever. I think in 10,000 games, I got to the last. I think I got to two end tier tanks, the Yag Tiger and E100, and that's what I mean. At 10,000 games, I was averaging like 360 XP a game. So the pay to win is fine, or not pay to win, or pay to play, whatever you want to call it. If you want to play this game for free, there is still things you can do to help you out. I mean, when I first started this game, there was none of this stuff that we have. We didn't have personal reserves, we didn't have strongholds, we didn't have any of this stuff that helps you, level up through your tanks quicker. They didn't give free premium tanks away. They didn't do any of that shit. So when people say pay to win or pay to play, whatever the term is, go back 4 or 5 years. That stuff didn't exist. So what Wargaming has did, I don't know necessarily about everything Wargaming does, and I'm still pissed that they haven't got new maps, all that blah 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 bullshit. I could go on for hours of things that make piss me off this game, but they do offer several things in this game to allow you to move up quicker than just simply playing it as free to play. And of course, the biggest thing, and this is the basis for this game. So you have so you have your free to play, or you have premium time. And premium time is one of the, that's you pay to get a boost in your tanks, 50% increase in XP, 50% increase in credits, right? And that right there is a huge thing if you really want to take this game serious and you really want to start playing the game more, and you get more involved, and you want to move up through the ranks. Because don't get me wrong, I mean, if you're starting out in the tech tree, in a low tier American whatever, and you're trying to go all the way up through here to the E3, I mean, this is a lots of XP to get there. And if you're only doing 300 or whatever XP a game, or 400 XP a game because you're playing it free to play, it's going to take you a long time to get there. But there's a few things you can do to help you get there quicker as a free to play. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to jump over to my World of Warplanes. Most people don't know is that this game and World of Warplanes have a connected account. So you guys share XP and gold between these two accounts, right? And so you also share premium time between these accounts. Now, a couple years ago, Warplanes' population had dropped, and trying to entice people to play the game, they started offering essentially a coupon ticket type system that lets you get free premium time. And I will explain that to you as soon as I transfer over to the other garage. Alright guys, so we are in my World of Warplanes account, and this is the garage if nobody's familiar with it or haven't seen it. And you're probably wondering, why am I taking you here if we're playing World of Tanks? And I was talking about earlier about premium, right? Okay, so the thing about premium is, since you share these two accounts between the two of you, and you also share XP and golds, there's things that you can play. I mean, okay, you don't. Now this is for the free-to-play players that seem to, they think that, well, I'm not playing a premium account, I'm not going to get ahead. But Wargaming offers you things in this game that you don't get in World of Tanks. And I'm specifically talking about the tokens. And the tokens is essentially you complete missions, and once you reach to a certain degree, a number of tokens, in this case 150, you get 30 days of a premium account. Now, to me, if you want to be successful in, not successful, but if you want to move up quicker in World of Tanks and you want to get there in a reasonable amount of time, instead of playing tens of thousands of games, doing 300 whatever XP, and you're not getting your 50% extra gold or credits, 50% XP, all that kind of stuff, having a premium account is the way to go. And Wargaming offers you a chance to get it for free, right? Come over here, do these little missions, get a premium account for 150 tokens. Now, to get the tokens, you do have to play the game. So, I mean, this is for some people that seriously want to get in World of Tanks, and they want to do it. They want to fund it essentially for free. This is kind of what you're going to have to do it, right? And that system works on a set of daily missions that you have to complete. These are the first parameters. You get 1 ticket for doing it. The second one, you get 2 tickets, and the third one, you get 3 tickets. Plus, you get 1 for shooting down 9 planes, 1 shoot down 5 planes, and 1 is some sort of destroyer mission where you do a certain amount of damage plus shoot down some planes with some ground attack planes. But anyway, you have the ability to get 9 tickets a day, right? So once you win the tickets, once you win the tokens, whatever you want to call them, you know, that builds up. You know, I just blew like 200 tokens the other day on another month of free premium and some garage slots in my World of Tanks, a World of Planes account. So I still have 40 left. Does it take a little while? Yeah, because you do have to start building yourself up. You know, these are tier specific, 1 through 4, 5 through 7, and then 8 through 10. So you do have to, you know, build yourself up. I mean, even if you only want to get to the tier 5 part of it, you can do it that way. You know, if you just wanted to get up there just to get, and that, you know, even in that sense, you're going to get to, you know, 3 tickets. You know, it's relatively. Like I said, if you want to spend the time, you know, get up here, get the tickets, or if you just want to simply show up one day and shoot down 5 planes, you get 1 ticket. It takes you 150 days to get a premium, you know, which is 5 months to get 1 month of premium. Whatever you want to do. I'm just showing you the way to do this for free, right? You're not spending any of your money, not spending any of your gold to get free premium time. The other thing I want to show you is if you're a new player and you're struggling to get XP, is that this thing actually has what they call anniversary aircraft. So every time you own a plane for a certain amount of time, they call it a anniversary aircraft. And that day, if you go win a standard battle for the first victory, you get 1,000 free XP. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 available ones that I can do this little mission, and they expire. They give you so many days to do it or whatever. You know, and look at this: 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9,000 free XP if I win, you know, these 6 battles. That's 9,000 free XP that goes to my World of Tanks account, right? Just for winning 1 battle. I mean, I don't even have to do well in it. I just got to win it, and that free XP is transferred immediately to my World of Tanks. You know, so it's a shared account, so it goes into my World of Tanks as well. I mean, that's easy, right? 9 games or 6 games for 9,000 free XP, which you can take on and use to upgrade all of your tanks. You know, if you're struggling, take the 9,000 XP, upgrade your tank quicker. You know, so I mean, it's literally, it's simple. You know, this is jump around, do some of these little things. There's also at times where, you know, for like the conversion of XP, free XP, you can do this. You know, they might not have it in World of Tanks, but they'll have it in World of Warplanes. You know, where you do 1 gold equals 25 free XP, or 1 gold equals 35 XP if they're giving it out as, you know, that's the deal of the day or whatever. You can do it over here, but you might not be able to do it over there. So being able to watch both of these, or paying attention to what's going on, you can end up with a lot of things for free. This game just had an Axis versus Allies contest here not too long ago. Something was Thor's Hammer, I think is what it's called, or whatever. And in that deal, if you played some games, your side won, whether playing Axis or Allies, you would get these little boxes, and these boxes would have all kinds of free shit in it, like from free XP, they would have free premium days, there's some free gold, things like that. You know, that's just for showing up. And that transferred to my World of Tanks account. I mean, yeah, if you don't, I get it, if you don't want to play the game, whatever. I'm just showing you some of the things that'll help you get ahead of the game in World of Tanks for free. This doesn't cost you anything. Once again, this is a free-to-play the game on as just as World of Tanks. They give away free premium planes in this game all the time. You know, just showing up and battling, you can get free planes. You know, it's kind of like World of Tanks. You know, you show up, get some free planes. You know, helps you along the deal, gets you more tokens. So, showing you this, I'm going to switch back over to the World of Tanks account and keep on going from there. Alright guys, we're back in the World of Tanks garage. So, now that I've shown you some of the things on the World, I mean, I'm sure you guys are probably like, why was he over the World of Warplanes? That was, you know, essentially my point, showing you that you can play this game for free, and you know, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, but there is options in this game to help you level up without you actually putting any money into the game. Like I said, going over to World of Warplanes, using the cross accounts like this, paying attention to what's going on, all helps you move up in this game. The other thing, you know, this was actually somewhat relatively new. I'm going to pretty much just work my way across the screen, work on everything. Personal reserves. They give these things away for free. You know, you don't have to buy them. You complete the missions, you do use them, and these things are huge benefits for your personal experiences, crew experiences, money, all that stuff. You can purchase them, of course, but like I said, once you complete the missions, you get these personal reserves and use them. I mean, you can stack up to 3 of them, as long as they're not, you know, you can't stack 200% experience with 100% experience, you know, that kind of stuff. But you can do, you know, money, experience, and crew experience. You know, and this is a huge advantage. These right here will help you level. I'm speaking more alongside once again to the new player here. You know, the guy's got less than 5,000 battles or whatever. If you are popping these things, make sure you're doing it solo though. You know, they are on a set amount of time period. You want to try to get at least a minimum, of course, 4 games into an hour. You should be able to getting 5, 6, 7 games into an hour, depending on how you're playing and depending on how the teams are. But you want to do it solo. Otherwise, you could say if you die first and you're sitting there 5, 6 minutes, you just wasted that much time, you know, waiting for your platoon mate to get out. So if you're doing these, make sure you're doing them solo to get the maximum amount of time out of that period right there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, these are great. And they're offered continuously. So like I said, I'm going to keep scooting on over through this the screen as we go here. I've talked about the premium time, what you can do to get this for free. You know, this is once again back to the World of Warplanes. We're going to stay with the premium shop right now. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, about tanks that make money and tanks that don't make money. Missions. Always pay attention to this. This is one of those things, you know, these were great when they started coming out here. Always be looking at these. This is where you get your personal reserves from. They just offered this new valedictorian one. Pay attention to what you got to do. I mean, do these, complete these. These are excellent ways of getting free shit, right? You're not paying for this stuff. So completing these it just makes it easier for you to level up your tank, you know, and all it is simply going into the missions, see what's going on that day, and keep looking. I mean, this is an events deal, so you know you got some coupons type deals, FV 215B's on track. You know, that's one of those things too. Is when something's on track, to save your money, you want to be making sure, if you want to go down that line, to be on that line during the month that they have uh, these events going on. Missions, same thing. Pay attention to what's going on. See what you got to do to get them. Same with the tank rewards. This stuff is all for free. And if you're not paying attention and completing these things, I mean, it's kind of your own fault. I mean, of course, if you're playing this for, free to play, this stuff is all stuff that you need to pay attention to and keep working your way up. The other big thing is, and you see this, and I've seen some of these in other players that don't pay attention or don't even actually know about it, is make sure when you are in your store, occasionally check this out and get it to your depot, and make sure you're keeping these modules from your upgraded tanks sold. If you don't plan on keeping the tank, get rid of these modules. I mean, right now there's, I got probably 200,000 worth of silver sitting in here doing nothing. Get rid of it. This is always something that, I had a friend that one time used 32 million worth of silver because he had never cleaned it out. So yeah, always keep track of what you got in your depot. Same way with shells. If you don't have the gun anymore, I mean, I usually keep this pretty well clean, but I got one for 45 silver, things like that. Consumables. Now I'm going to talk about the consumables. With these new resets, 90-second resets on extinguishers, small repair kits, and whatnot, I typically don't run most of that stuff. I don't run an automatic fire extinguisher or any of that kind of stuff. Large first aid kit, unless it's something and I'm playing it 9s and 10s or whatever. Most of the time I just run the average manual fire extinguisher. Same with the small first aid kit, especially since with the 90-second reload, it does make sense. But if you are buying any of this stuff when it comes up on sale, make sure you're buying it only when it's on sale. Buy it always when it's half priced off. Stock up. Pay attention to when these sales are coming up, and jump on them. Buy this stuff always half priced. I typically always try to do that. I try to always make sure I got credits on hand when sales come up. Buy this stuff. Consumable food. I don't use it. I know a lot of people do. I use it typically on like artillery. Those are the few times I do use it. Extra combat rations. Some people use them to, if you're really into the game and you're really worried about that 10% to all of your crew skills and perks, hey, go ahead. But if you're on a dime, you're on a budget, you're not going to use them, and you get them for free, sell them. I mean, honestly. I'm sitting here with, there's 80,000 there, there's another 70,000 there, so if I'm not using them, I'm just going to get rid of them. I don't keep them. I don't usually play with any of them, like I said, occasionally when I do play artillery, I do run cola and chocolate on a few of the tanks, obviously with those big long reloads, just get them down as far as I can anyway. So yeah, if you're not using them and you're getting them for free, sell them, get the silver out of them. They're just sitting in here. You're sitting in here not doing anything anyway. So unless you think later on in the game you're going to get that super competitive that you need them, get rid of them. They're not worth just sitting there. You can be using that silver for other things. Getting the next tank or buying equipment and whatnot. And then we're going to go on to the other part of the economy, I should say, the other part where you can actually make more credits than you normally would, which actually would be strongholds, and this would require you actually joining probably a clan, if I remember correctly. They have these boosters. There's a 50% free booster for crew experience. All this stuff can be done by doing strongholds with your clan. If you're into it, if you're not into it, whatever, it's your choice. If you don't want to join a clan, if you don't want to do any of that kind of stuff, but it's an option, especially I said this is a free-to-play game. If you're just playing it for free, or if you're doing it whatever, this course is just another option to gain the 50% free XP and the crew experience. Now, we've talked about when I was talking about conversion of free XP. If you're in this game and you actually want to spend a little bit of money, if you're not doing just go play straight free to play, conversion of free XP is always a good idea. You don't want to use it to like free XP through a tank, but you want to do it, upgrade equipment. That's what you should be mostly, in my opinion, using that free XP for, is to upgrade your equipment on your tank. So, and you always want to make sure you're looking for that one time when or once or twice a year when they do the free XP conversion, 1 gold for 35 instead of 1 gold for 25. Every time you want to be looking for deals. That's kind of really what gets you ahead in this game. I mean, most everything I've ever bought in this game is always half price. Even tanks. I mean, I might sit on a tank for 6 months before it becomes on track just to get the extra 20% off or whatever. I could buy it, but hey, I don't need to play it right now. But wait a little bit, comes on track, buy the tank, save you a bunch of money. Same way with if something's on track and you're relatively close to it, make sure you're playing that tank so you can buy the next set of tanks for 20%, 15% off, whatever. You're always saving money. You're always moving ahead. So we've talked about, like I said, these are just little tips, to get you ahead in this game economically. There's people, you always talk to somebody that are always struggling. Well, I got no money, I got no silver, I can't do any of this stuff for whatever reason. Now we're going to actually talk about tanks. Now, just not the premium tanks, but the in-game tanks for making money. First, we'll talk about tanks to make money, the non-premium type. So if you're in this game free to play, you're not putting any money into it, these are the tanks you're going to want to get. There's actually 2 lines specifically that have a tendency to make more money than they're usually in the top 5 money makers for non-premium tanks, and that's not 8s, 9s, and 10s. So prepare yourself if you're really going to make money in this game. In relatively, I mean, we're not talking a lot, 5,000 to 7,000 a game. There's a couple lines here. Stug 3, tier 5, excellent tank for making money. I think a global rating, or the VBATIC version of it, it's like 5,000 to 7,000 a game. Yeah, Panzer 4, another one, same thing, great for making money for a non-premium tank. The other side of the coin is the Nashorn, another great tank. Once again, makes excellent credits. We're still talking about the 5,000 plus credits per game. These 3 are usually sitting in the top 10. And the reason I'm saying is these 2 lines have the most amount of tanks that make good money, non-premium. So the German TD line, and surprisingly, actually the other one, and this wasn't actually mentioned in it, is the 8.8 on the Jagdpanther. And the reason why is because the AP shells, price-wise, is 252 credits, right? Now think about that. 252 credits per shell, and this thing has the same pen as the 105 gun on there. So as a tier 7 tank destroyer, you're doing, if you get around 2,000 damage with it, you're going to make really good money, right? So now all 4 of these tanks are in the German tech tree, right? And this right here, like I said, are perfect examples. When I said 3 lines, being 2 lines that have a tendency to make more money, this is the line I'm talking about. So as a non-premium tank, if you want to make some money, this is kind of what I would be kind of moving toward to keep my role going in the game, to make some money if I'm not playing a premium account and I'm not playing premium tanks. The other line, surprise, surprise, is the Godzilla line. These guys right here, the OI Experimental and the OI. These 2 tanks apparently are 2 of the best money makers at 5s and 6. So, and like I said, they're in line with each other. So, you know, if you go up to this line, get to this line, you know, great money makers, non-premium tanks. Once you get past 6, 7's a little iffy. 8's almost a negative number. I do believe I have that up here somewhere. What happened to it? Anyway, there's a VBATIC. Go to that website. They will show you 5s and 6s are your best tiers to be making money at non-premium. 6s are 7s, not so great. By the time you get to 8s, most of the time they show a net loss. So 6s and 7s. I imagine even like the Cromwell with that pew pew gun would probably be even a good money maker. I do believe, if I remember correctly, like the M4s, Shermans with firing the HE derp guns are good money makers. And I think the other one was for medium tank was the Panzerhof H, firing the derp gun HE shells. At 6s, I would still say probably most of the 6 mediums, you know, even including the Cromwell, probably make good money if you're doing some damage. So, and that's kind of the key, you know, to make money in this game, you have to do damage. And I talked to a lot of people that, you know, they've asked for help to get ahead in the game. And typically what I tell them is make sure you're doing, and the one thing I always kind of I shouldn't say gripe about, make sure you do the hit points of your tank and damage every game. If you do that, so you're going to see this surprisingly thing is going to happen. You're going to start winning more, right? Winning more, you get more and more XP and all that kind of stuff. And it's just a simple goal, you know. Yeah, this says 750 hit points. I'm going to try to make sure I get at least, you know, 4 or 5 pin shots with this tank to get to that 750. And you'd be surprised how much that'll help you, not just with the money, but with the winning and all that kind of stuff. And that's just simple. That's just a simple little goal to try to do in your tank every time you play. So after the, you know, like I said, tier 6, tier 5, tier 6, that's as far as you're, you know, that's as far as you want to go as a non-premium tank for making money. Anything past that, you're probably gonna have a little harder time making money. These seems to be the go-to. I think like I said, my first 10,000 games, I had no premium, and I remember playing the holy hell out of the Stug 3 because it did make some really good cash. You know, that was I didn't have a premium tank. I didn't have a Louvet, any of that stuff. I just played I just played this little guy right here a bunch, and to get to make my money to get past tier 5, tier 6, tier 7, and whatnot. So we've talked about premium time. We've talked about make sure you get your missions done, collecting all the free shit that you can get. I mean, you know, as much as I hate to commend Wargaming for what they do, it is a lot easier to move up in this game than it was, say, even 2 years ago. You know, so they are always doing something for you to help you out. At least in my opinion, they do. And bringing to that, if and in chance they do bring out, I mean, missions always come up. They always got something going on. Anytime there is a free premium tank to be given out, make sure you get involved. I mean, that's something that's, if you can get it for free, do it. If I remember correctly, this Wheezy 111, this was given away free a couple years ago. T-34 at one time was given away for free. The IS-6 was given away for free, and I think that was the ones I can remember off the top of my head. But there was also, let's see here, I think the Churchill 3 was given away for free, and of course there's always a bunch of these light tanks you know, that they give away for free on a regular basis. Some people, when they get these light tanks, they sell them right away for the garage pot and the cash. I mean, here's the thing: it's free. Keep it, right? And it helps you make a little bit more money, and they are you know, decent crew trainers. So just simply selling them because, you know, for whatever reason, I wouldn't do it. I think they actually just did this one too not too long ago for free. So when these tanks do come up, make sure you are trying to obtain them somehow. You know, if you, of course, if you're not that far up the deal and it requires certain tier tanks and you can't do it, it's understandable. But anything helps. So if they're giving premium tanks away, you know, try to make sure you're trying to get those missions done as much as possible, so you don't, you know, you lose out on that free stuff. The other thing, when they are having free premium rentals, right now currently is the E5, or was at the E5 at the one time, play the shit out of these tanks. Even if they're a 6 or a 5 or whatever, that extra credit bonus will help you a bunch. You know, that's extra money in your pocket, that's extra XP in your pocket by playing these premium tanks. I mean, yeah, there's just a rental, but you know, who cares? They come up, do the missions, they get the rental, and then play the piss out of them until you know, they take them away from you. And that's, these are all little things that help move you, progress you along in the game. And yeah, we definitely don't want to be sitting around twiddling our thumbs if we don't do that. And so we've talked about obviously the rentals, actual premium tanks. This is one of those deals, like I said, if I had a choice between buying a premium tank and buying premium time, I'll always buy premium time, or I would pay for premium tanks. I mean, yeah, these tanks, Strav, whatever, Strav 1 right here, these ones, yeah, they make great money, but you're not always going to be playing these. You're going to be grinding tanks. So if you're grinding tanks, you'd rather have the premium time to give you the 50% crew or 50% increase in XP and money and all that kind of stuff. So if I had a choice, and I was actually going to put, if you're going to actually put money into the game, I would definitely pick premium time over tanks. Now, if you do decide to do both, typically I would suggest when you're buying a premium tank, and I'm actually going to start doing that. I actually have three guides, or actually 3 reviews of premium tanks right now, I think, on our YouTube channel. Go check them out. I'm going to start doing more of these premium reviews of these tanks. If you decide to pick a line, make sure you're picking a premium tank that's in that line. So if you decide to do Russian heavies, make sure you're buying a Russian heavy premium tank, right? So you know, that helps you get that up to so you have the best crew possible, fastest amount of time to get there, and the most amount of money. So yeah, you always want to make sure you kind of pick that tank that fits that line that you're grinding if you're going to buy premium tanks. And there's always a ton of them up for sale. You know, Wargaming's always got something going on in the premium shop. You know, so it's always just a matter of looking. The vehicles pop up at different times. There's usually your standard fare are always here, and now the Poodle's up. So is the 740. These are pretty much all standard tanks. So if you do pick a line, make sure you're trying to kind of pick along what possibly you could use here to get you moving. You know, like I said, there's always something going on. I own, I think, almost every one of these. Actually, I do own every one of them. So if you guys have some tank that you want to actually know more about, or a premium tank that you want a review of, put it in the messages, PM me in game, and I'll go over it for you guys. Same way with you, if you know, and I keep talking about all this stuff, but it also comes down to your own gameplay in game. So you have to be doing damage to make money. The more damage you do, the more money you make. The more assist damage you do, the more money you make, more XP you make, all that kind of stuff. So the best thing is always do is the better your game is. Platoon. Try to find somebody that's been playing the game a long time. You know, fairly good stats. I hate saying that, but it usually helps if somebody that's a 55% player or above. They're going to give you, a pretty good idea. Watch videos, obviously. Try to increase your gameplay, because that's only going to help you move up the trees faster and help you in the long run as you progress through the game. So, the last thing I want to talk about is, depending on where you live, and I'll say this a few times, or I should say a few times, this here, depending on where you live and what your ping is, I have a tendency when I start a game, or a session of games where I'm going to play at night or whatever, I might flip back and forth between these two servers. Why I do that is because it depends on what sides. Sometimes you get over on the West server, you're better off playing high tiers. There might be more players playing on that side. East, it might be playing more on the low side, 8s and unders. You try to get in there, you try it out, test the waters a little bit, try to find out, what tank you're playing that night. Sometimes I've got on the East servers and I've had nothing but tier 8 games all night long. Matchmaker, the new matchmaker makes it a little different more now, or I might have nothing but I might have 6 tier 7 games in a row on the East server, and I might go to the West and I might be bottom tier the whole time. So with that in mind, like I said, once in a while you might want to check that out. Just jump around a little bit if you can, depending on what your ping is. If you can get 7-8 games in a row where you're top tier, that just helps you out even more. So playing with that server thing, it's another little tip, will help you if you're able to do that with your ping. And the last thing before I go, equipment. And I see this often enough. People don't want to spend the money to invest in equipment, and really, in my opinion, that is actually the biggest investment you can make in your tank, is that equipment. And you should be investing with it. So once you start out in that, once you start out tier whatever, I would suggest probably even by tier 5 to make sure you're starting to get equipment on your tank. Yeah, they cost a little bit to do it, but hey, it just makes you that much better. It makes your tank that much better. It performs that much better, which helps obviously with your damage output and all that kind of stuff. So please do it. These, like I said, hopefully these little tricks, little tips will help you out. Now I know they've stopped. As far as I know, they've stopped making tournaments, or that could be a rumor. I'm not sure. Free gold. Now free gold, obviously you have to show up and play the stupid game, but tier 5s, tier 6s, tier 7s, they usually in mid tier, whatever. Hey, go play a couple of those tournaments. Make a couple 100 golds. Maybe you can make a couple 1,000 gold. Depends on what kind of team you get onto. Once again, free shit. Can't go wrong. Alright, you guys have a good night, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.